Hello guys, welcome to this video. In this video, we'll be learning chapter 2, that is components of food. Before starting this chapter, let me tell you guys that this chapter has everything that you need to know, which means this chapter is filled with the facts. Many of you would be knowing most of the facts and few would be new for you. These are the facts that actually goes on in our life every day and we do it every day. In this video, we will be gaining important knowledge that is very necessary for us to know so that we can keep ourselves very healthy. Since chapter 2 is related with the previous chapter 1, so let us quickly recap chapter 1. In chapter 1, we saw many variety of foods. We saw the ingredients, we saw the sources of those ingredients, the plant sources, the animal sources, and then we also looked at insects. In this chapter, we will understand the nutrients topic clearly. We had seen that all over the world, people eat different kinds of food. A meal that we eat should be proper, precise, balanced. Usually, you must have seen at your house, our moms giving us rice or chapati in a large quantity than compared to the curry that we eat. Besides, she also gives us with curd or ghee. In chapter 1, we made lists of the food items that we eat. We also identified food items eaten in different parts of India and marked these on its map. A meal could consist of chapati, dal and brinjal curry. Another may be rice, sambar and vegetable preparation of lady's finger, that is bhindi. Yet another meal could be appam, fish curry and vegetables. Activity 1. Our meals usually have at least one item made of some kind of grain. Other items could be a dal or a dish of meat and vegetables. It may also include items like curd, buttermilk and pickles. Some examples of meal from different regions are given in table 2.1. Select food items you depicted on the map in chapter 1, add some more meals to this list and enter these in table 2.1. Table 2.1. Some common meals of different regions or states. Column 1. Region or state. Column 2. Item of grain. Column 3. Item of dal or meat. Column 4. Vegetables. And column 5. Others. Take a look at row 1 and row 2 that are already filled. Row 1. Punjab. Its item of grain is makki roti, that is corn. Then item of dal or meat is rajma, that are kidney beans. In vegetables, Punjabis have sarson saag, that is mustard leaf curry, and in others they eat curd and ghee. Row 2, Andhra Pradesh. The item of grain is rice. Then the item of dal or meat is tur dal and rasam, that is charu. And then vegetables, they eat kunduru, that is donkai in their language. And in others, they drink buttermilk, have ghee and pickle, that is avakai. Let us take row 3 as West Bengal. The grain of item is rice. The item of dal or meat is fish. Vegetables, they don't take any vegetables while eating such a combination, and in others they add ghee to their rice. Sometimes we may not really have all this variety in our meals. If we are traveling, we may not eat whatever is available on the way. It may not be possible for some of us to eat such a variety of items most of the time. There must be some reason, though, why meals usually consist of such a distribution. Do you think that our body needs different kinds of food for some special purpose? The food items that we eat contains one or more ingredients in it. And these ingredients are made up of some components that are needed for our body. And such components are called as nutrients. Nutrients are the food substances that provide nourishment to our body. Now, what is nutrition? Nutrition is the process of taking nutrients for the development and growth of our body and to obtain energy. What do different food items contain? We know that each dish is usually made up of one or more ingredients, which we get from plants or animals. These ingredients contain some components that are needed by our body. These components are called nutrients. The major nutrients in our food are named carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. In addition, food contains dietary fibers and water, which are also needed by our body. Depending on the amount of nutrients that we take, nutrients are divided into two categories: macronutrients and micronutrients. The nutrients that we take in large quantity are known as macronutrients, and the nutrients that we take in small quantities are known as micronutrients. Carbohydrates, Fats and proteins are examples of macronutrients. In other hand, vitamins and minerals are examples of micronutrients. The components of food that we eat contains carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, dietary fibers, and water. Before we dig into the detail of each and every nutrient that we take, let us understand what is the function of food. Food provides us nutrients for proper growth and development of our body. It also protects us against diseases. And last but not the least, very important point, that is food provides us with energy to do some physical activities. Food is divided into three main categories that are energy-giving food, bodybuilding food, and protective food. Carbohydrates and fats come under energy-giving food. Proteins come under bodybuilding food. And vitamins and minerals come under protective food. What are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are the energy-giving compounds. Carbohydrate mainly contains cellulose, starch, and sugar. Now again, carbohydrates are divided into two. That is, simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. Everything has a plant source and animal source. Carbohydrates plant sources are bajra, rice, wheat, maize, mango, sweet potato, sugarcane, and others. Proteins are the bodybuilding foods. They help in the growth of our body. They also help in the repair of the damaged tissues in our body. The plant sources of proteins are peas, chickpeas, beans, soya bean, gram, moong. Its animal sources are milk, meat, fish, paneer, and others. Fats are very high energy providing components. They produce a great amount of energy than compared to carbohydrates. The plant sources of fats are all the possible nuts available, for example groundnut, walnut, and oils such as mustard oil, groundnut oil, soybean oil. Its animal sources are fish, meat, milk, ghee, eggs. Do all foods contain all these nutrients? With some simple methods, we can test whether cooked food or a raw ingredient contains one or more of these nutrients. The test for presence of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are simpler to do as compared to the tests for other nutrients. Let us do these tests and record all our observations in table 2.2. For carrying out these tests, you will need solution of iodine, copper sulfate, and caustic soda. You will also need a few test tubes and a dropper. Try these tests on cooked food items as well as raw materials. Table 2.2 shows you a way to record the observations from these tests. Some food items are given in this table. You can conduct the tests either with these or any other available food items. Do these tests carefully and do not try to eat or taste any chemicals. If the required solutions are not available in ready-made form, your teacher can prepare them as given in the box. Let us begin by testing different food items to see if they contain carbohydrates. There are many types of carbohydrates. The main carbohydrates found in our food are in the form of starch and sugars. We can easily test if a food item contains starch. Test for starch. How do we test the presence of starch in a particular food item? What we do is, we take iodine. Or if iodine is not available, we take few drops of tincture iodine and add it in water. Thereafter, we take the particular food ingredient and we add few drops of iodine into it. If the color turns into blue-black, then starch is present. And if not, then there is no starch present. Activity 2. Test for starch. Take a small quantity of a food item or a raw ingredient. Put 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution on it. Observe if there is any change in the color of the food item. Did it turn blue-black? A blue-black color indicates that it contains starch. Repeat this test with other food items to find out which of these contain starch. Enter all your observations in table 2.2. Test for proteins. Now to check the presence of protein, we need two chemicals. That is copper sulfate and caustic soda. Now how do we prepare this solution of copper sulfate? What we do is, we take 2 grams of copper sulfate powder and add it in 10 ml of water. And then stir it well and it turns into blue color solution, that is the copper sulfate. Caustic soda, we take 10 grams of caustic soda and then add 100 ml of water. Here we prepare the caustic soda solution. To check the presence of protein, we take a food item, we add few drops of copper sulfate and few drops of caustic soda solution. And then we shake the test tube where we have taken the food item or the dish where we have taken the food item, and if it turns violet color, then yes, protein is present. And if it doesn't turn violet color, that means protein is not present.
Test for protein. Take a small quantity of a food item for testing. If the food you want to taste is a solid, you first need to make a paste of it or powder it. Grind or mash a small quantity of the food item. Put some of this in a clean test tube. Add 10 drops of water to it and shake the test tube. Now, using a dropper, add 2 drops of solution of copper sulfate and 10 drops of solution of caustic soda to the test tube. Shake well and let the test tube stand for a few minutes. What do you see? Did the content of the test tube turn violet? A violet color indicates presence of proteins in the food item. Now, you can repeat this test on other food items.
Test for fats. What you do is, you take some kind of nuts, or let us take mustard. Now take a piece of paper or a tissue paper. Put some mustard seeds in it and then cover it. Thereafter, tap on the mustard seed. Make sure that the paper doesn't tear. Thereafter, let it dry. Why do we let it dry? Because if there is presence of water, the water will evaporate. Even after that, if we see some kind of oily patch in the paper or tissue, that says that yes, fats are present.
Test for fats. Take a small quantity of a food item. Wrap it in a piece of paper and crush it. Take care that the paper does not tear. Now, straighten the paper and observe it carefully. Does it have any oily patch? Hold the paper against light. Are you able to see the light faintly through this path? An oily patch on paper shows that the food contains fat. The food items may sometimes contain a little water. Therefore, after you have rubbed an item on paper, let the paper dry for a while. If there were any water that may have come from food, it would dry up after some time. If no oily patch shows up after this, the food item does not contain any fat. Now pause the video and note down these observations. What do these tests show? Are fats, proteins, and starch present in all the food items that you tested? Does a food item contain more than one nutrient? Do you find any food item that does not contain any of these nutrients? We tested food items for 3 nutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. There are also other nutrients like vitamins and minerals that are present in different food items. Why do we need all these nutrients? What do various nutrients do for our body? Carbohydrates mainly provides us energy to our body. Fats also give us energy. In fact, fats give us much more energy as compared to the same amount of carbohydrates. Foods containing fats and carbohydrates are also called energy-giving foods. Proteins are needed for the growth and repair of our body. Proteins are often called bodybuilding foods.
Vitamins. Vitamins are the organic substances that protect us from various diseases. For example, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, and there is this vitamin B. B has a vast variety. Vitamin B has vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B5, vitamin B9, vitamin B12, and many more. Vitamin A helps improve your eyesight. Vitamin B helps provide energy and improves immunity. Vitamin C helps improve our skin and fights against diseases. Vitamin D helps improving our strong bones and teeth. Vitamin E helps in hair growth, helps in getting glowing skin, and is good for eyesight. Vitamin K helps in the clotting of the blood. Sources of vitamin A are papaya, carrot, milk, and mango. Sources of vitamin B are rice, wheat, maize. Sources of vitamin C are guava, orange, lemon, tomato. Sources of vitamin D are fish, eggs, liver. Do you know vitamin D is also available from the sunlight? It is very easy for us to get vitamin D from direct sunlight. Now that doesn't mean that To get vitamin D, we go and stand in the sun the entire day. It's simple. Early in the morning till 8 o'clock, it is very healthy for us to go and take a sun bath.
Vitamins help in protecting our body against diseases. Vitamins also help in keeping our eyes, bones, teeth, and gums healthy. Vitamins are of different kinds, known by different names. Some of these are vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, and K. There is also a group of vitamins called vitamin B complex. Our body needs all types of vitamins in small quantities. Vitamin A keeps our skin and eyes healthy. Vitamin C helps body to fight against many diseases. Vitamin D helps our body to use calcium for bones and teeth.
Minerals. Minerals is an element that is required by our body in small amounts. It is essential for the growth and development of bones, teeth, and red blood cells. For example, iodine, iron, phosphorus, calcium, sodium, and many more.
Minerals are needed by our body in small amounts. Each one is essential for proper growth of body and to maintain good health. Most food items usually have more than one nutrient. You may have noticed this while recording your observations in table 2.2. However, in a given raw material, one particular nutrient may be present in much large quantity than in others. For example, rice has more carbohydrates than other nutrients. Thus, we say that rice is a carbohydrate-rich source of food.
Roughage. Roughage is a dietary fiber present in our food. It does not provide any nutrient to our body, but it is important for our body as it removes all the undigested food from our body. Hence, it prevents constipation.
Besides these nutrients, our body needs dietary fibers and water. Dietary fibers are also known as roughage. Roughage is mainly provided by plant products in our foods. Whole grains and pulses, potatoes, fresh fruits and vegetables are main source of roughage. Roughage does not provide any nutrient to our body, but is an essential component of our food and adds to its bulk. This helps our body get rid of undigested food.
More than 70% of our body is filled with water. So yes, water is still a very important component of our body. We all must drink 7 to 8 glasses of water, else 3 to 4 liters of water per day, as it helps in the absorption of these nutrients in our body. It also helps in throwing out some waste in form of urine and sweat.
Water helps our body to absorb nutrients from food. It also helps in throwing out some wastes from body as urine and sweat. Normally, we get most of the water that our body needs from the liquids we drink, such as water, milk, and tea. In addition, we add water to most cooked foods. Let's see if there is any other source which provides water to our body.
It is not necessary that we only get water when we drink it. We get water from the fruits or the vegetables that we eat. It is naturally present in them. For example, watermelon has 99% of water in it.
Activity 3. Take a tomato or a fruit like lemon. Cut it into small pieces. Do your hands get wet while doing so? Carefully observe whatever vegetables and fruits are being cut, peeled, grated or mashed at your home. Do you find any fresh vegetables or fruits that do not contain some amount of water? We see that many food materials themselves contain water. To some extent, our body needs our meat by this water. Apart from this, we also add water while cooking many food items.
For example, I am getting too fat nowadays. So that doesn't mean that I will stop eating fat containing foods. Or I have eyesight problem. So what I do is I keep on eating vitamin A and vitamin E filled foods. No. Excessive of anything is bad and too much less is also bad. We should eat everything in right and perfect quantities that our body needs. We have already seen that we have macronutrients and micronutrients, which means macronutrients are to be taken in larger quantities and micronutrients are to be taken in a little bit smaller quantity. At the same time, we are also supposed to take roughage and water. So we all must take a balanced diet every day and every time we eat. Balanced diet is a diet that provides all the nutrients that our body needs in right quantities along with adequate amount of water and roughage.
Balanced diet. The food we normally eat in a day is our diet. For growth and maintenance of good health, our diet should have all the nutrients that our body needs in right quantities, not too much of one and not too little of the other. The diet should also contain a good amount of roughage and water. Such a diet is called a balanced diet. Do you think that people of all ages need the same type of diet? Do you also think that what we need for a balanced diet would depend on the amount of physical work that we do? Prepare a chart of whatever you eat over a period of a week. Check whether all the nutrients mentioned are present in one or the other food item being eaten within a day or so. Pulses, groundnut, soya bean, sprouted seeds as in moong and Bengal gram, fermented foods as in South Indian foods such as idlis, a combination of flours, missi roti, thepla made from cereals and pulses, banana, spinach, sattu, jaggery. Available vegetables and other such foods provide many nutrients. Therefore, one can eat a balanced diet without expensive food materials.
Now pause the video for a while and think, do animals also need a balanced diet? All the predators select their prey in such a way that they can eat all the nutrients in a balanced way. It is obvious that animals and everyone needs a balanced diet. So they can maintain a good health of their body and can reproduce a very healthy offspring.
Eating the right kind of food is not enough. It should also be cooked properly so that its nutrients are not lost. Are you aware that some nutrients get lost in the process of cooking and preparation?
In your textbook, page number 14 and 15, you will notice a paragraph where it says that many nutrients are lost while cooking food. Vitamin C is lost when we heat it. So it is usually advisable to take in vitamin C in raw form so that we can absorb the entire nutrient completely. Make sure to wash the vegetables or fruits before cutting it, because when you cut it, you reach its core, right? So when you reach its core, if you wash the fruit or the vegetable that you have just cut, then all the nutrients, vitamins, minerals will get washed along with the dirt. You have to make sure when you are in the kitchen or your parents are in the kitchen cooking food for you, you must have seen they never overcook a food. Sometimes when you overcook a food, then also many of its nutrients get wasted.
If the vegetables and fruits are washed after cutting or peeling them, it may result in the loss of some vitamins. The skins of many vegetables and fruits contain vitamins and minerals. Similarly, repeated washing of rice and pulses may remove some vitamins and minerals present in them. We all know that cooking improves the taste of food and makes it easier to digest. At the same time, cooking also results in the loss of certain nutrients. Many useful proteins and considerable amounts of minerals are lost if excess water is used during cooking and is then thrown away. Vitamin C gets easily destroyed by heating during cooking. Would it not be sensible to include some fruits and raw vegetables in our diet?
There are certain rules that you should follow while eating. That is, you should not take any oily or fried stuff in an empty stomach. You should not eat fruits in the night. These are the facts that you have to remember so that you maintain a good health. Otherwise, if you don't follow them, you fall sick and you start suffering from diseases. A person is having his complete food but still has some deficiency, which means he or she is not eating all the components in right quantities. Then that person is suffering from malnutrition. You must have seen in slums or some areas that are under development, those areas, those kids, they are very slim, lean, thin. You know why? Because they do not get any kind of food to eat. So they are undernourished. They do not get food to eat, be any kind of nutrient or any kind of component.
Bojo thought that fats would be the best food to eat all the time. A katori, that is bowl of fat, will give much more energy than a katori of carbohydrate rich food, isn't it? So he ate nothing but food rich in fats. Fried foods like samosa and puri, that is snacks, malai, rabdi and peda, that is sweets. Do you think he was right? No, of course not. It can be very harmful for us to eat too much of fat-rich foods, and we may end up suffering from a condition called obesity.
When a mother serves some kind of food or curry, then there are some kids who will say, "No mama, I don't want to eat it, this is really bad, I don't like its taste and all." And sometimes your mother gets fed up and says, "Okay, do whatever you wish," and gives you whatever is your favorite food, right? That is wrong. You should eat everything, be it good in taste or be it bad in taste, okay? That's because our mothers cook a balanced food that has the tiny minerals and the vitamins that our body needs. Now all your favorite foods that are burger, biryani, pizza, pasta, Maggi, these all are rich in carbohydrates and fats, and they have really very less vitamins and minerals. Now onwards, since you know that eating vitamins and minerals are very important, do not irritate your mothers, and like a good boy and a good girl, eat all the vegetables, all the curries and everything that your mother prepares at home, okay? Still, if you do not listen like that, like a bad boy and a bad girl, then you'll start suffering from deficiency diseases. Now what are these diseases? Diseases that occur due to lack of any particular nutrient for a long period of time are known as deficiency diseases.
Deficiency diseases. A person may not be getting enough food to eat, but sometimes the food may not contain a particular nutrient. If this continues over a long period of time, the person may suffer from its deficiency. Deficiency of one or more nutrients can cause diseases or disorders in our body. Diseases that occur due to lack of nutrients over a long period are called deficiency diseases. If a person does not get enough proteins in his or her food for a long time, he or she is likely to have stunted growth, swelling of face, discoloration of hair, skin diseases, and diarrhea. If the diet is deficient in both carbohydrates and proteins for a long period of time, the growth may stop completely. Such a person becomes very lean and thin and so weak that he or she may not even be able to move.
Take a look at table 2.3 in page number 16 of your NCERT textbook. Column 1, vitamins or minerals. Column 2, deficiency diseases or disorders. And column 3, we have the symptoms of all these diseases. Row 1, vitamin A. The deficiency disease that is caused is loss of vision, or it is also known as the night blindness disease. Its symptoms are a person will not be able to see in dark and will not be able to see clearly also. Now many of my students who are wearing a glass, in simple words what I can say you is that take a carrot and start eating every day in the morning. Row 2, vitamin B1. The deficiency disease caused is beriberi. What are its symptoms? Our muscles will get weak and we won't have much energy to do any kind of work. Row 3, vitamin C. Its deficiency disease is scurvy. The symptoms are you will be having the bleeding gums and any wound will be taking a bit long time to heal. You can drink orange juice, lemon juice or even tomato juice. Row 4, that is vitamin D. The deficiency disease caused is rickets. In rickets, our bones become soft and weak. If we do any kind of small activity also, the bones will start breaking or you'll be getting bone pain also. Its treatment is wake up early in the morning, go to your roof or go outside near the sun and stand there for minimum 15 minutes or do some kind of yoga or go outside, sit and drink some water. Row 5, calcium, bone and tooth decay. In this, your bone becomes weak and you start getting cavities. For this, drink milk every day and avoid eating chocolates, lollipops, chewing gums, toffees, okay? And last but not the least, brush your teeth twice a day. Early in the morning you wake up and before going to the bed. Row 6. Iodine. The deficiency disease caused is goiter. In this, what happens is the gland in the neck starts appearing as if it's swollen. And if you are a kid and you're suffering from goiter, then you'll be having some kind of mental disability. How you can consume iodine is simply use iodized salt. Row 7. Iron. If you do not eat iron, you will start suffering from anemia. In anemia, you get a lot of weakness and you cannot even walk. The best treatment is eating a raw banana by making some kind of curry. I will give you a few extra information that is important you should know as you are in grade 6 and might also come in your exams. So note them down, okay? Kwashiorkor is a disease that is caused due to deficiency of protein. In this, a person has stunted growth, thin legs and protruding belly. If you do not take proteins and carbohydrates properly, there's this disease called as marasmus. In this disease, you will not have any energy and you will not have your proper growth. Vitamin K. If you have any deficiency of vitamin K in your body, then any kind of wound you get, it will take a lot of time to heal and the blood clotting time will increase. So anytime you will get hurt, your bleeding won't stop easily.
Deficiency of different vitamins and minerals may also result in certain diseases or disorders. Some of these are mentioned in table 2.3. All deficiency diseases can be prevented by taking a balanced diet. In this chapter, we asked ourselves the reason why widely varying food from different regions have a common distribution. This distribution, we find, ensures that our meal have a balance of the different nutrients needed by the body.
Let us quickly recap what we learned in this video. At first, we saw the different nutrients and what nutrition is. Second, we learned about all these nutrients in details: carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin, mineral, along with roughage and water. Third important thing is the test for starch, test for protein and test for fats. These are very important questions and these come in your exams. Fourth is balanced diet. And fifth is deficiency diseases. We have successfully completed this chapter. I will be posting part 2 of it where we will discuss the NCERT questions and extra questions. Watching the part 2 video is very important for your exams as it includes almost the entire details of a chapter and the extra questions that come in your exam for sure. I've explained you the chapter, we have done the NCERT reading, we have done the activities also in the form of pictures, and I've given you few extra knowledge that are really important. Any doubts? Put them in the comment section. Thank you so much. Have a good day.